Welcome to another exciting predictions video here on Shockwave Sports. This is our first AEW pay-per-view predictions video though, so a little twist, just like Tony Khan and his booking, a little different than Paul Triple H's Levesque. We got a big twist tonight. We have the Raven joining us, the newest number one contender for the Shockwave Championship as well. Welcome in, man.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
We also
future Shockwave World Champion, by the way. But
yeah. Well, we'll find out in just a couple of weeks. But we also have John Von Hollywood here. Of course, he is a lover of all things Tony Storm.
Yes, Tony Storm is my favorite.
A man of culture.
Character.
I don't want to bury the lead, but yeah, I'm excited for this pay-per-view. Overall, I think in the world where we are just talking about The Rock, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Rhea Ripley, it's cool that AEW's secretly putting on a really solid card here, and I'm happy for the talent that they're getting recognized on an event that is still dedicated to a 61-year-old man. It seems they're not burying the young talent on this show either. But let's start with that Wardlow match. Is that a triple threat?
I seen it earlier, and it said, I believe it's supposed to be a fatal four-way with a mystery opponent.
Oh.
Or at least that's what I seen earlier.
Is there any stakes?
No. It looks like it's just a Meat Madness match.
Wow.
Meat Madness match.
Wow.
That's my type of matchup.
With little I know about this match, I still think the Wardlow promo and everything. I'm just gonna give my pick right away. Fuck it, I'm the predictions champion. I get to go first. I think Wardlow's winning this match. I think it's gonna lead to him versus whoever the AEW champion is for Double or Nothing.
Because I think Powerhouse Hobbs is going to win. I just feel like they've kept him being dominant recently. Tony seems to really like Powerhouse Hobbs.
Yeah. I like Powerhouse. I think he's very talented.
I think he's a cool wrestler.
Seems to be missing a character. The whole pages of Hobbs, I don't really think it's working. I don't think it really ever worked. I think he needs to try something a little different. Who do you think in Meat Madness?
It's going to be Wardlow. After that promo, strap a rocket out of this man. Honestly, he has been red hot multiple times before. They keep fumbling the bag with him. Hopefully this is it. Hopefully this finally pushes him over that hump. I don't know. Wardlow, though, very dangerous, very entertaining. But you're right. He lacks a little bit of a character, which AEW really isn't known for characters. They're known for wrestling, and
that's true.
Hobbs is good at that, so maybe we'll get that. Although if this does turn into a fatal four-way and Miro shows up, that might be my pick.
Maybe. The Lance Archer does throw a wrench in this because I don't think he's gonna win, but I think it gives Powerhouse a chance because he doesn't have to pin Wardlow.
Yeah, whoever wins, they're pinning Lance Archer.
Yeah.
I'm doubling down on this.
But all right.
That makes sense because, yeah, I don't know who Lance Archer even is. Really. I'm sorry. I didn't. That might came off a little mean.
I was gonna double down and be like, so does the rest of the world. I'm sorry, Lance. We got FTR versus Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli, as in the Blackpool Combat Club.
See, now there's stuff here that I know what I'd be talking about.
Didn't know how to talk about your meats?
Numbers are... The number is all over the board. I've seen FTR doing well. I've seen Mox being Mox. But more importantly than who's going to win the match is how much is Mox going to bleed. That's what I care about when it comes to an AEW pay-per-view.
What's going to be stuck in his head, sticking in his head.
What's going to be his cause of blood tonight, folks?
Yeah, this match is
from FTR Bald.
Battle of Bald Men. I think the bald guy's going to win. But This is tough. The Raven, I'm gonna let you go first this time.
Okay. So honestly, I pick FTR. Honestly, I just think they're the best tag team like in AEW. Period. Outside of maybe the Acclaimed, but I don't know. FTR really needs a way back to those titles. A big win over Blackpool Combat Club would push them over there. And honestly, I just pray on Moxley's downfall. He just does not do it for me.
You're over the Mox.
I am. I have not understood the hype like ever. Even as Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, nice.
So yeah, I think FTR is gonna win. Personal bias, but gonna be a good match. Claudio does not put on a bad match.
I'm on your side, Raven. I think FTR is going to win as well.
I was actually thinking Blackpool Combat Club. I think I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. I just think they need to build up. The Blackpool Combat Club is interesting. They've been a faction that's been around for a couple of years, but it feels like they don't have a direction right now, and maybe defeating FTR, going after the tag titles. I'm thinking of future matches where I'm like, maybe they get some momentum and they face the tag team champions, where I'm sure we all think the tag champions might be changing hands. So it connects to the main event, this match, I feel like, and I think it's time for the Blackpool Combat Club to get some gold back on them, and this is the first step towards it, I think. I think that's what they're doing. But not bad picks by either of you either. I think this was a hard one to put a stamp on.
I think the comments are gonna eat me up for the Mox hate.
Nah, dude, I agree with you, man. I'm the first to make fun of Mox when I start watching AEW.
To I guess defend Moxley, I think what helps Moxley is he is the guy that left WWE frustrated and has been an AEW guy, like their most loyal guy. Like I really don't think he ever leaves unless that company no longer exists.
He's like the Sting of AEW.
Yeah. It really I don't. When I think of AEW, I think of one of those images is Moxley winning that AEW World Title, because it was such a pivotal moment that a former Jericho's one thing, but Jericho was a little older. That was a former WWE guy in his prime winning the other company's world title, so it was a major deal. I understand the historic value of Mox, but I think the hardcore matches go a little too much, as we've all been critical of. This next match
he's just been a little boring to me.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That maybe them going after the tag titles, at least it's something different. I love Claudio. Cesaro back in the day was like my favorite wrestler in like the mid 2010s and like 2015ish.
Even before Cesaro left WWE, he was like on a hot streak.
He never stopped putting on bad matches. You could put him in any division, anywhere, and he's going to give you a fantastic performance. He is the most underrated talent of this era. Like, he really is. This next match is interesting because I believe it was supposed to be Christian Cage versus Edge, a.k.a. Adam Copeland. But Adam Copeland is injured, so they have thrown in the very white-hot Daniel Garcia. Seems to be very over with the crowd right now. I think this was a good replacement. Yeah. John, where you leading?
Well, the whole Edge stuff confused me. I thought that was the build-up and everything. But then, because of this Daniel Garcia stuff, in my opinion, once again, I haven't really been too caught up, but from watching through everything, I'm like, I get it. I see why people like Daniel Garcia. Do I think he's going to be able to win against Christian Cage? Probably not. I don't see it happening unless he has some sort of help. Christian Cage being the patriarchy and everything currently is just such a it's such a big storyline. He has so many people around him to help him. He's got Kill Switch. He's got, the Wayne and Wayne's mom. So it's like, You
Mother
have all
Wayne.
this stuff around Mother Wayne. Yes, thank you.
It feels like the Edge and Christian rivalry isn't over, and it needs that TNT title, like in the story. It seems.
Yeah, that needs to be a part of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those rivalries that the whole point of Edge was trying to take that title. That's why Christian Cage is relevant, is because he's the TNT champion, and he's kind of been ruling the mid-card of AEW pretty much for, it feels like a year. He hasn't had the title for a year, but he's been in the conversation around this division for a year. So I agree. I'm going to go with Christian Cage, but the Raven, are you a Daniel Garcia fan? You going to dance?
I am a Daniel Garcia fan.
Oh, yeah.
The dancing just makes me pop like no other, okay?
Every time.
Honestly, Tony Khan would be mad to not put that title on Daniel Garcia right now. Listen, there is a path to Daniel Garcia winning this title and keeping that Edge and Christian rivalry going. I don't... Adam Copeland, sorry. Can't get used to that still. Honestly, it doesn't need a title for that feud. Have Adam Copeland come out and distract Christian. Like, I know he's injured, but you can still cause a distraction. Daniel Garcia wins off that.
Yeah, that's true.
Feud moves on into just grudge match territory instead of having a title that could elevate a great young talent like Daniel Garcia. Like, that could push him to the next level. Granted, it didn't do that for Wardlow or Sammy, but it could do it for Daniel Garcia still. Something I wouldn't stop trying to do. So, yeah, I'm going Daniel Garcia.
You basically took what I was thinking and made it into a possibility where I'm like, wow, that could be... I didn't think of the distraction on the other side of the field. That would be...
Yeah.
That's a good idea, Raven.
And they've shown Edge is willing to, do that.
Oh boy, John knows I am excited for this match. I am such a huge Will Ospreay fan. Going up against Takeshita, I think this match is going to steal the show.
Are they not in the same faction?
Yeah, they have the same manager of Don Callis. Like, there's a really cool storyline here.
Yeah, they're both in the Don Callis family.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that.
Listen, admittedly, I haven't been watching a lot lately. How did this match happen? Does anybody know?
Pretty much Ospreay came to AEW, and both, I believe, are going after the AEW title. This is like an unofficial number one contenders match, I believe.
Oh, I guess that answers the question, folks. Don just said that they'll still be a part of the family.
That's what Don wants to happen. We'll see if shenanigans. If I was Tony Khan, if I could book AEW, I would want Will Ospreay undefeated all the way to Wembley. I think this is like Ospreay's story here. I feel like he needs to be in that world title match at Wembley, and in my mind, he just needs to win every match on his way to that because it's his first year officially in AEW. So for that, I'm going to go with Will Ospreay, but Raven, what are you thinking?
As much as I really like Takeshita, dude is a baller. Tony Khan just got a new action figure. He's going to play with it. He's going to push it to the Rocket Moon. I agree with you.
He should.
Undefeated to Wembley.
Nice.
Give it a few months, though. He might get a new fancy toy. But I thoroughly believe Ospreay is going to be winning.
His new fancy toy might be the Celtic Warrior. I don't know what they're going to call him because they can't call him Sheamus.
Don't break my heart, but he's going to go by Shane Me if he does it. There's a clip of him at his house, and he has a sign that says Shamey's Bar. That's what it's going to be.
John, are you going to go with Will Ospreay? I don't know if you made your official pick yet.
Yeah, I'm going with Will, Ospreay.
I think it makes sense. It'd be really weird if he loses his first pay-per-view match. Like, I would legit be shocked. Now this one...
But Don Callis could pull shenanigans once again.
Don Callis
folks,
shenanigans.
If he loses in that way, I'm fine with that. As long as shenanigans.
The only way I see him losing is somehow the Callis family turns on him, but...
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, Eddie Kingston and Bryan Danielson.
This one's tough. Because John, John and I have been debating this pretty much all week because we look at it where Bryan Danielson doesn't want to win any championships in AEW, so maybe Eddie Kingston would retain, but this is a new belt that could really use a big legend to win it and elevate it. It would be pretty cool if Bryan won it.
Once again, I just think Eddie Kingston's a little lame. I think he's great on the mic. I thought he was great when he keeps showing up in the commentary booth. But as a wrestler, I look at the guy and I go, is this just Tom Segura? I'm sorry. And I'm not saying you need to look a certain way. I just don't really care for his in-ring performance, and I hope Eddie loses. I want Bryan to win.
I'm going to go with Eddie Kingston, literally just because it's the safer thing here, and I want to keep my belt. But what are you thinking, Raven?
Belt.
Man, I'm going to be honest, Eddie Kingston in the ring bores the hell out of me.
Exactly.
But I think he's winning, simply for the storyline. I mean, didn't he just beat Bryan Danielson? Man, people are going to eat me alive. So I have a feeling he's not, he beat him once. He's not going to turn around and just lose it right back to him at the next thing. He's gonna go over Bryan, even though I think it's the wrong decision. But, yeah, whatever. Tony Khan, Madman.
Here we go, another fucking belt that Tony has. We got the international champion, Orange Cassidy, defending his title against Roderick Strong, a member of the Undisputed Kingdom, led by Adam Cole. So, I think Roderick Strong is taking this because it feels like they really want to build up the Undisputed Kingdom and get to a point where they all have belts. So I think Roderick winning the international title is just a step towards that. It's unfortunate that I just see it as that because I used to really like Roderick Strong in NXT. But ever since he has moved over to AEW, I think he's just been Adam Cole's sidekick. Yeah, he was in the Undisputed Era, but he had his own identity in NXT with the Undisputed Era. He won the North American title. He had NXT championship matches against Drew McIntyre. And now I forget he's even on the AEW roster. And with Orange Cassidy, he's got to go up the card soon. He had that match against Moxley last year, and it looked like, okay, this is the next stepping stone. But then he goes and just wins the international title again. So where are we going with Orange Cassidy? He's got to get this belt off and then elevate himself, I would think.
While I agree with you on continuing with Orange Cassidy, I don't think Roderick Strong's going to win.
No?
I think Cassidy's going to retain it because I don't think Tony has any idea where he's going with the storyline of the currently new Undisputed Kingdom.
The Undisputed Kingdom.
These two are in an awkward position in their stories right now. It's like when their hair, when your hair's growing out, when it gets to that length where there's nothing you can really do with it. I feel like they're just in a really weird spot in this position because if Roderick Strong doesn't win, well then once again we're sitting here and being like, well, now what? What's gonna happen right after this? At least with
yeah, because the plan, Adam Cole says the plan is that they were going to win the Ring of Honor tag titles, which they have in the faction. Roderick Strong is going to win this title, and then Wardlow is going to win the AEW title and then give it to Adam Cole. That is the kayfabe plan right now, the Undisputed Kingdom's having. So it would be weird to me if Roderick Strong already loses, and then that doesn't give us an opportunity to see if Wardlow will just give the title to Adam Cole, like they're trying to say in kayfabe. So I think this is just a stepping stone to that more interesting main event storyline that I do want to see. I don't know, though. Roger can always win it months from now, though, because I don't think Adam Cole's going to be healthy until, the summer.
No shot.
Yeah, dude's literally in a wheelchair on TV.
I think Roddy would have a chance to win if he still had the neck brace, but he doesn't.
Yeah, that's the big other factor.
He has no neck brace. His good luck charm is gone. Orange Cassidy beats him off of an orange punch and a Danhausen curse.
So we got
Also,
two.
I guess from my perspective, the build-up to this is so wild because I've mostly seen Roderick and Adam hurt. Mostly.
Yeah.
Since, I've been
I
watching.
miss
That's
it.
how NXT.
Adam! God, it was so good.
That's how NXT was back in the day with the Undisputed Era. One of them was always injured.
Wow. History repeats itself, folks.
Yeah.
But
Anyways, Orange Cassidy has us in the bag.
2 oranges and a strong. All right. Now, here we go. I'll let you introduce this one, John.
Dude, the next 3 matches, these are all the matches I care about in the pay-per-view. Sorry, guys. These next 3, I'm like, cinema is being told across the board. So Toni Storm and Deonna Purrazzo, boy, oh boy. Raven, have you seen some of the build-up to that stuff?
I have not seen the build-up, but I love the timeless Toni Storm gimmick. It is so good.
It's so good. It's perfect. There's been some little short segments on YouTube of timeless Toni Storm, of course, throughout the past few months, but the ones building up to this match I think is really cool. And it might possibly be the end of Toni's reign and then the downfall of timeless Toni Storm. So I honestly think Deonna's going to win the belt from her.
Wow.
I think she's going to defeat her.
I'm gonna pick Toni Storm because I think Jamie Hayter's got to dethrone her. I think Jamie Hayter might be the big return. I think Toni wins this match and Jamie Hayter's music's gonna hit. Well, it's interesting because Toni Storm's going through her old friends, right? Her and Jamie Hayter used to be roommates and everything, so it's kind of I feel like we're building up to that. But yeah, so I'm gonna go with Toni then, but. I think you kind of sold me on Deonna. I was kind of going into this thinking we were all going to pick Toni. I think that's an interesting perspective.
I thought that as well. He's kind of changed my mind a little bit, so I wouldn't be mad either way. Like, that is a good storyline. But yeah. I believe Toni Storm is going to carry it a bit longer. She's just doing magic with that title. I have her going over Deonna.
That's gonna be a fun match. That's the one I've been looking forward to the most, guys.
For the AEW World Title match, there's been a lot of misinformation about it. I don't even know what's exactly true. I do believe we have confirmation that Hangman's broken ankle is a gimmick. He didn't actually break his ankle on Dynamite. And for I don't know why, but there might be a reason that he can't make the show. So they're using that as a potential excuse. And I don't even know if I believe that. Because to me, the broken ankle thing was like, oh, he's getting pinned. And he'll still look strong.
I didn't even realize he broke his ankle.
I don't think I said the match. Hangman Adam Page versus Samoa Joe, the champion, versus Swerve Strickland in a triple threat match for the AEW World Title. John, who do you got?
Well, now I'm confused. I was originally going in thinking, is it possible that Swerve comes out and swerves everyone and wins the title off of Samoa Joe? Here's the thing, folks. I haven't gotten over Joe winning this title.
What are you thinking, Raven? I haven't made my decision yet.
Hey, listen. I love Samoa Joe. That man, literally one of my favorites of all time. But he is not even the best Samoan named Joe. Okay? I swerve when I drive. Swerve Strickland is taking this title.
Oh!
Damn.
You're way more confident than I was.
Listen,
I was over here like Ryan
some
Johnson.
Swerve. He is red hot. He has been putting on so many good matches. Some of the only ones I actually go back and watch in AEW. Tony needs to put the title on him. Like you mentioned Moxley being the first WWE guy to take that title over here in AEW. Swerve needs to do it. It'll be the best. It'll go. Listen, they will see how much they fumbled by releasing Swerve. He's going to go on and probably be one of the biggest stars in AEW.
The Swerve thing is interesting because I understand your booking here, do it while it's hot, and I think that's definitely a possibility.
Have him pin Hangman, if they're doing an injury angle, have him pin Hangman, let Wardlow or try and come out or some shit after winning the match.
That's what I'm thinking, is the Hangman thing so Swerve can pin him. And not Joe.
Swerve.
I'm going to go with Joe, though. I think something fishy is going to go on between Hangman and Swerve, and one of them costs the other the win, and Joe just keeps the belt. That's
Okay,
that's
I have a question then for both of you. Who do you think is going to get pinned? Do you both think that it will be Hangman no matter what getting pinned?
I think so.
Okay.
I feel like Swerve getting pinned right now would like halter his momentum.
I was just going to say, the only example I could think of where AEW pulled the trigger in the middle of something was when Jamie Hayter randomly won the world title. That's outside of that, Khan doesn't usually mess with his master plan, which I think is waiting for MJF to return to have a rematch with Joe or something. It's something with Joe.
If you remember right, when MJF was trying to figure out who the devil was, he did have that face-to-face with Swerve. And honestly, that match is something I would much rather see than a rematch with Joe. But that could also just turn into another triple threat because they like doing them. I like watching them.
Yeah, they do like their multi-person matches. So, John, are you going with Swerve?
Yeah, I'm going with Swerve. Me and Raven.
All right. And oh boy, we're less than a week away, boys, and we will supposedly never see the icon Sting in the ring again. Sting and Darby versus Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, AEW World Tag Team titles on the line. So, since I think we know who's going to win, I had a bonus.
Yeah.
Well, first, before I say the bonus, are we all picking Matthew and Nicholas?
No.
Oh.
Okay.
No, it's going to be Darby and Sting. Honestly, with Darby getting the
Sting
pin, not Sting. Darby carrying Sting to a victory in his final match will literally push him so far that
they're going to retain the tag titles?
They're going to retain the titles and then just relinquish them. Honestly, that's how I'd book it and do a tournament for the titles. I mean,
Raven, you and I are so much more similar than I thought because I had this same conversation with Ace literally the other day. I was like, what if they just retain?
Like literally, let the legend go out on top. I am sick of this it's not a retirement match.
I know we do need Jab
it is
here.
not
Jab
a retirement match. It's not he loses and he's done. It's he's done no matter what. So he can go out on top, relinquish those titles, and ride into the sunset. That's how I'd book it.
I like it, Raven. I'm a big fan of your pick.
Thank you.
I understand that the Bucks aren't really the young talent anymore, but
they're Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, not the Bucks anymore.
Yes, excuse me. I'm sorry, Matthew and Nicholas.
The EVPs, Mr. Matthew.
You better
and
watch
Jackson.
Out, Ace. They might hit a Tony Khan driver on you.
In my mind, this match was happening because I assume these are the two guys that convinced Sting to come to AEW. So he's finishing his career the way it started from a backstage perspective. And it would just feel weird to me that Matthew and Nicholas aren't gonna just win. Especially these characters. I think they need the belts to keep this ride going. If they just lose here, then what was the point of this whole character change?
You know, you kind of have a fair point. Plus, if they do win, they can ride on the high that they push Sting out of AEW. But man, I just don't want to see them be the ones to beat the Stinger. Okay.
That's what I was kind of upset about when Ace and I, when they won those tag team titles, which I didn't need Sting to be in a singles match for his retirement. But when it was then, okay, it's going to be Mr. Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, the executive vice presidents of AEW. I was a little disappointed, I guess. I don't know.
I kind of understand that this is who Sting wanted in his last match, But from a fan's
Yeah.
perspective, there's so many other great teams in AEW I would have rather seen. I think a face team versus a face team might have worked better for telling this story for his retirement. Like, honestly,
Face?
pick either FTR or Mox and Claudio, and either of them would have been better than Matt and Nick.
I don't. He's still retiring against one of the greatest tag teams of all time. It's not like these are slouches.
Okay, you are right. I'm just not entertained by them as much.
Well,
Are you not sports
I currently
entertained?
don't like their arc. I don't like their arc currently right now, Raven, either, where I'm not very intrigued by what's going on in their storyline. And yeah, I see where the angle could come in of them driving Sting out of AEW. And then even I could see whoever wants to rise up against them as champions as being like, hey, you guys are the EVPs and you're also the champion, and go from like the whole business angle that they're seemingly leaning into currently, you know, like I think there's so many opportunities and options with it, but I thought I was going to come in and be an idiot, being like, would it be a problem if Sting retains? But Raven, you sold me. I'm so happy that you came in saying that.
No problem.
I'm gonna go with Matthew and Nicholas. Then you guys can have this. My bonus point.
Oh, yeah?
So we know Ric Flair is walking out with the Young Bucks. My bonus point has nothing to do with Ric Flair, but I think there's going to be a lot of star power at this pay-per-view. If you could correctly guess a wrestling legend that doesn't have to be a part of the match, but they show a shot of him in the crowd, backstage with Sting. If you could correctly guess a cameo here on Revolution, you will get a point.
Two picks
Arn Anderson does not.
come to mind.
Arn Anderson does not count. He works for AEW.
I'm
Taz!
thinking
damn it.
DDP.
That's a good one.
Oh!
That's a really good
That
one.
is a good one!
Another one that, honestly, Tony Khan has the checkbook. Goldberg.
Oh. All right. Do you have anyone in mind, John? Or, well, Raven, which one are you locking in? I can only
DDP.
give you one.
I'm locking in DDP.
I think that's very smart.
It's such a better pick than any. I wish I don't know Sting's fucking friends.
That DDP one kind of threw me off, and then I started thinking about WCW guys. And now I'm like, I'm gonna say Kurt Angle. That's who was in my head. I think they just show him on camera. I don't think he does anything, but I think he'll be there. When I think of TNA growing up, him and Sting, it'd be cool if Kurt Angle was there. I'm pretty confident with Kurt Angle because he does show up on SmackDown and stuff like we've seen the past year, but I'm pretty sure he's not locked into a contract because he always shows up to different types of WrestleCons and stuff. So, yeah,
Just
I think
a Legends deal, I believe.
Yeah, which are different.
All right, I have my pick. I finally decided. Mick Foley.
Okay,
Good choice.
that's a very good pick.
Bonus pick from the Raven, the Great Muda.
Oh,
Sting was there for Muda's retirement. I
That's a
think
good
Muda
one.
could be there for Sting's.
yeah. We're also in South Carolina, so we're gonna see like the Crockett family there. Like I'm thinking of old wrestlers. The Von Erichs are probably gonna be there as well.
Oh
Like,
yeah, that would be nice.
So there's just a lot of history there with
Ricky
South
Steamboat
Carolina,
could pop
Green
up.
Ridge. Oh, that's another great one. I could have said Ricky Steamboat. Yeah. I'm trying to think of Sting's greatest rivals, and Kurt Angle kept popping up in my head. I think all three is good picks, though. I think Mick Foley could definitely show up as well, just because it's Mick Foley.
No.
He just does that. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's just everywhere sometimes.
Now, on
It's
the
like,
off
Mick's here.
chance WWE does let people at least do a video or anything to return the favor, AJ Styles would be my pick.
AJ Styles, yep.
But unlikely.
Yeah. I think the WWE guys are literally just going to post like a picture of them with Sting on their social media and write something nice about him.
You're
That's
so
probably what
right.
they'll be allowed to.
Do you think there's a chance Eric Bischoff shows up?
Yo!
Yeah, definitely.
Like, he's talked a lot of trash about AEW,
man,
but I
didn't
think
even
he might
think
show
That's
up.
another good one. Because I think Bischoff and Sting are actually, like, friends, like, in real life.
Jeff Jarrett.
Another employed wrestler.
Yeah.
Jeff Jarrett still will not. Jeff Jarrett's last match should be a great pay-per-view, but it should be under the TNA brand. Yeah, good picks, guys. What is a wrestler that's retiring soon? You want a pay-per-view all about them? Like, are they gonna do this for Edge in like a year?
Probably. Like I said,
Cody Rhodes.
Goldberg's gonna pop up, and they're gonna just do a retirement tour for him. He's gonna show up and squash Orange Cassidy.
Goldberg is never retiring.
Soon? Yeah, I have no idea when wrestlers are. Sting is 62 years old, Ace.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. But as we close things out, yeah, good picks, everybody. Good luck to all of your predictions. I will be walking out predictions champion again. But speaking of champions, before we close this out, the Raven. This is the first time we have talked to you since Dragon's Den. You eliminated every competitor inside of that elimination chamber. What do you have to say to your opponent, Mikhail, in just a couple of short weeks at Shock Wrestle Mayhem 2?
You know, I've been tuning in after my matches, hearing it during my matches. Mid-Kale has been doing a lot of yapping about me in that commentary booth. I'm taking everything he cares about, and I am taking down the Clique. With or without help, I will take everything he cares about, especially that title, and I will shut him up for good. Mid-Kale, I am coming.
Good.
You're not only a Raven, but you are a hawk trying to go at all these people on your own. But yeah, that wraps things up. Thank you guys for watching our predictions video. Subscribe. Reminder, when we reach 500 subscribers, Mr. John Von Hollywood over here is going to do our first official live stream here on Shockwave Sports, playing some SmackDown vs. Raw Road to WrestleMania. So make sure to subscribe because I want to see that chaos.
Wait, which one are you going to do?
2009?
Is that the one with the Undertaker storyline? Are you going to do
that?
that?
Oh, yeah, there's quite a few. We might kick off... Well, I can fly through it, I think, Raven. I did a test run with the Triple H storyline, but I think we're going to kick off with CM Punk, and then however long that takes me, then we'll see, and probably go into another one.
You should do a fan vote for the Undertaker one to see who you're using.
Oh, that's a good idea, too.
My
we'll see, folks. 500 subbies. Let's get there. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.